So now that all the numbers are input from the income to how much the monthly housing is going to be to the utilities as well, how should you even look at this? How should you look at this property, whether you should buy it, whether you should not buy it? This is how I look at it. So, in its current state, after all expenses are taken into account, the cash flow is going to be negative $215.69 every single month. What does that mean? That means you are going to have to pay out of your pocket $215.69 in order to own this property. So for me, owning a $749,000 asset and the only thing I have to pay for out of pocket is $215 every single month is not bad at all. The second thing is, in 1 year, even if you kept these tenants in there as they are currently, you could raise the rent $50 each person, and then that would quickly become a positive number. But looking at the pro forma side, seeing that you can get the rents up to this, the number is one thing, but the time it takes to actually get the current person out and then do the marketing, go through the property tours, have people come and view the property, and then sign a lease. In my experience, is worth it. In my experience, that turnaround doesn't take more than 2 to 3 months. So from January, if I have someone paying $2,400 to me, and then I'm thinking, hey, you know what, they might need to go somewhere else, or I need to raise the rent, and they're on a month-to-month lease, then hey, you know what, we got to go in a different direction. And from January all the way to March, I can get 2,400 in January, quickly turn that around, and then by March get that 3,300. So the only thing that's going to be a drawback is how many times you're going to have to get the current person out in order to bring the market rents up. So this turnaround could be 6 months, it could be 12 months, but when it's actually finished, it would be worth it to then be earning every single month $10,000 in gross income, still own the property, but then at the end of the month, have an extra $4,000 coming to your pocket every single month. To have an extra $4,000, a lot of people in 1 month who are working, let's say McDonald's, or they're the receptionist, or they're some customer service person, or even a lot of salespeople, they wouldn't be making $4,000 a month. And this is something that wouldn't be continuous work. It wouldn't be something where you have to show up to the property like you show up to your job every single day. It would just be flowing in. And let's say in a different circumstance, this was for an individual person to buy, but even if it was partners that came in 50-50, when it comes to that down payment of 149,000, instead of one person coming up with that amount, let's say each person came up with half, then you're able to split the cash flow in half. So you will be able to split $4,000 two ways. Then you could break it up $2,000 to the first partner, $2,000 to the second partner. And even in that instance, it will be worth it if after 6 months, if after 8 months, you had to do a couple of turnarounds, maybe repaint the units, maybe do a couple of repairs, even though it didn't look like there needed to be any repairs. But if it took time to remarket and get new tenants in, it would be worth it that after 6 months, after 12 months, or 8 months, you could then be receiving $4,000 a month or $2,000 for two individual partners. That's how I look at it, and it would be a worthwhile investment. Not even to take into account how the $749,000 property would then appreciate every single year and just add equity along with what you're receiving on the cash flow end. So just something for you to keep in mind. And this is how my mind breaks down whether to invest or whether to not invest in a particular property.